Well, certainly we never take this for granted because this is just a great opportunity for our city, our school, and our softball team to host a regional. It's been a heck of a year. I think, I was just looking, I had some old newspapers in my truck from February, and the one said it had 3 preseason All SEC players, and it was Whitney, Bro, and Kelsey, and they all got first team All Conference. And then it said Tide picked to win SEC, and we won the SEC. And I thought, well, they pretty much have done their jobs all year long. And I said this Sunday night after we got picked to host, but they've covered all their bases. I mean, we're in this position because they did what they were supposed to do this year. We scheduled correctly, and then they beat the teams they needed to beat. And that's why we get to play at home in the postseason and showcase our facility and our fans. And I hope the 3 other teams have a great time and experience true NCAA championship atmosphere here. I hope our fans bring it.
Questions for either Whitney or Kayla?
Whitney, what's it mean to you to get this last, at least, home series?
It means a lot. I know for myself and for Kelsey. I mean, if we didn't get a chance to play here again, it would have been okay. I've had plenty of games on this field, and I've been able to play in a regional and a super regional here, I think, all 3 years before this. So it wasn't something that was going to upset me, but at the same time, it kind of hit me after we went home and we canceled the Kentucky series that, this could have possibly been the last weekend that I've played on this field, which I would have been fine with either way. But I'm really happy that I get one last weekend here.
For both players, if you can quantify, how much more do you think you appreciate softball now than you did the last time you stepped off that field after a game?
Well, I think you definitely learn not to take things for granted. I mean, softball, we've been playing it all our lives, and it kind of becomes routine, something that you just wake up and play. But when you see something affect you and you don't get to play at home and something happens to your community, I think it really makes you appreciate how lucky and blessed we really are to get to do what we love every single day. And, under very terrible circumstances, I think we learned a really good lesson never to take it for granted.
She said it.
Whitney, what did you think of the ribbon out in right field?
It's awesome. We're actually talking to Chris, the groundskeeping guy that actually did it. This community they support us so much, and I know that they're going to rally behind us, and we want to, at the same time, rally for our community. And it's been the symbol the whole time while we've gone through this process, and it means a lot to us. I know we have it on our jersey, and it just symbolizes how close we are as a community and as a team with our community.
Anything else for the 2 players? Thanks, guys.
Easy.
Murph, what's it mean to you to have this game at home?
Oh, I think it's just a great opportunity for us to showcase what Division I softball is all about. I mean, to me, it's the stands, the fans, the teams, the atmosphere. I mean, this is what you play Division I softball for. And we've had great crowds in the past. I hope it continues. But I think there's an added factor with the month layoff and her haven't been home over a month. So hopefully it'll be a really energized, great crowd, and I think all 4 teams will feel it.
After the tornadoes, what's it like to be on that field and just to be kind of getting back to softball? What's that like?
It's kind of normal, It's you're getting back into a routine. I know we told them at the very probably beginning of April that the best part of the season was coming up. It was postseason, and then actually it's right before Kentucky. It was the postseason because school was canceled. So they've had that extra week of it, and I think a lot of them they delivered backpacks and hats today to hundreds of kids in elementary schools this morning. And, you know, when they mix in a little bit of that and a little bit of softball, I think it's good for everybody.
Can you just kind of give us a scouting report on the other three? Seeing all that out there?
Yeah, well, some. We got to see Jackson State against Mississippi Valley State on the in the SWAC championship, and their coach has been a friend of mine for years. And I know he does a great job. He did a great job at Belhaven when he was there at Indiana High School in Jackson, and you know, took him a semester basically to take a team to the NCAA tournament. So we know he'll have his team prepared and ready to go. They have a very good leadoff hitter who has like 55 stolen bases and, you know, would rival Bro, I'm sure, in speed. And then Chattanooga, you know, one of those teams, it's like a mid-major in the basketball team or tournament where you don't want to play Northern Iowa, you don't want to play UTC in softball. But they're, you know, they played Georgia earlier, probably late March, and had them beat 7th inning, and Georgia had to have 3 hits to beat them. So, you know, this could be one of his best teams. 3 pitchers that are very good. And then Memphis, a young lady that coached at a Division II in Georgia, went over and started their program. She's only 6 years old and has done a great job, and they've steadily gotten better and better. I know they played here one fall, and we beat them pretty bad probably 3 years ago, and she shook hands after the game. She said, "That's just what we needed. Welcome to Division I softball." And, you know, I thought she's going to make some noise because it was, to me, it was the right thing to do. They were a young program. They thought they were pretty good, but then, you know, and, you know, I really have to give kudos to them for volunteering this morning. I mean, I don't think any other Division I school in the country would come to their first NCAA tournament and then give up 4 hours of their morning the day before they play to volunteer to help a city out. It's remarkable, and I think it says a lot about her character as well, and the teams.
What does that mean to you? They had a disaster of their own up in Memphis to come down here and volunteer for that?
I mean, it was remarkable because, you know, when I got that email, it said urgent request or something like that, and I thought for sure she wanted a different hotel or restaurant options. And then I started reading it, and she's like, "Where can we go to volunteer?" And then like 3 hours later, one of their parents actually wrote to my director of operations and asked the same question. He had extra time, and what could he do? So it's just, you know, servant leadership at its finest, you know, selfless to the core.
Where did they go?
Temporary emergency services out at the old Food Max out at Northport.
Were they with you guys, or was that?
No, that was, I hooked them up with the person that had helped.
Anything else for Coach?
Just, what's the one thing you'd like to see out of your team this weekend that you think is the most crucial going forward?
Consistency up and down the lineup. We've had really good games where 1 through 3 were excellent, or 7, 8, 9, or 4, 5, 6. But we haven't had one game where we've had a little bit from everybody. The Georgia is a prime example. You know, we had 3 0 for 4s right next to each other, and the 3 above them were great. But when it got to the next 3, it stalled the offense. And, you know, everybody needs to do their part, whether walk, you know, hit by pitch, whatever. Just get on base. And, you know, it's hard to do just to get everybody hot at the right time, because we've been, you know, 4 or 5 hot, but never 7, 8, 9 hot. So I'd like to see more consistency up and down the lineup.
Thank you.
Thank you.